right, everybody, welcome back to the Vesta kit house build. It's May 2024. We're back in Pagosa. It's been a while since we've shot anything here, and while this is still slow and steady, there's a lot of progress happening with this house, and we're really excited to show you. The biggest thing that maybe you're noticing and maybe you're not noticing is the plant life, vegetation going on inside the greenhouse. They moved some things into the greenhouse early winter last year, 2023. No lights, no power. And then they've just been progressively building up what they're doing inside the greenhouse. And it is completely full of plants. Tomatoes, peppers, citrus. She's trying saffron, olive trees, bananas. So we'll go in there and show you what's going on. But, you know, we're so focused on this being a house and being high functioning and highly insulative and passive style. You sometimes forget about the life that's happening in this house. And you'll see in the greenhouse that it is very full of life. It is verdant. So we'll walk around. We'll give you a tour of what's going on. You know, they're probably 3/4, maybe even more, done with the inside of the house. And we'll show you how it looks. All right, so here we are on the west side of the house. As you can see, intake louvers are open. House is fully controlled with the sunsense controller, and I'll show you that in a moment. But this is a dividing wall between the greenhouse portion of the house and the house portion of the house. We've designed this as maybe your main front door. The idea being that this first 10 feet of the greenhouse has a solid roof, insulated. So it's shaded in this corner, so it's not as hot potentially. So this can be a mud room or potentially a workspace, potting space if you really work in your greenhouse. And so one of the ideas is that you can walk into here, take off your boots, take off your jacket, hang it up, and then walk into the house through a sliding glass door. Or, depending on how you want it, this is a double door with screens, and this could be your front door. So you can place a patio here, everywhere. There are ways to attach awnings if that's something that you want to do, and you can make this interior layout to your liking. Because again, the Vesta is a blank slate on the inside. We do not provide an interior floor plan, and that's for each client to decide how they want to do it and to build it out to their liking. So let's walk into the greenhouse and see what's going on. So a really important aspect of the greenhouse and how we've designed it is, again, from here to the west wall is insulated and covered. So we're in a nice shaded zone. But we also have a insulated covered roof extending approximately 4 feet off from the house. And that's to protect the south wall of the house, the north wall of the greenhouse, and the windows from direct sunlight and the house overheating. It's a passive style design technique. But what that means, and you can see it on the floor, is that this is our shadow line. And so where I'm standing in the summer, it's May right now and probably through September, this won't get sun. And so you'll see how she has her plants laid out is really on the shadow line. And so everything is getting light here, and that really allows for a work pathway east to west through the greenhouse along this north wall. We have a lot of clients who build a little work table or something, so it'll always be in the shade. They're not working in the sun, and then the plants are transitioned into the sunny portion of the greenhouse where obviously they can get light. Okay, so we are now looking east towards the east wall of the Vesta. We're inside the house, obviously. A few things I wanted to point out here. The first, and I'll show you some more details, is the floor. They poured a concrete slab, which we think most clients will do, and then they've just stained and finished the floor. It looks really, really nice. It actually is quite cool right now. Some people are going to choose to add radiant to the floor and some won't. But as a general concept, the floor, which is actually a structural part of the build, can also become a very nice looking finished feature of the house. And it eliminates the need for added cost of other types of flooring, even though you could do whatever you wanted. This client lives next door in their house already. And so this house is built out sort of as a house and also sort of as a laboratory. She makes tinctures and all kinds of things for an herbalism business. So this is designed as a potential kitchen location in the house. So I just wanted to show you what she's doing, but mostly because I wanted to show the flow to the greenhouse. So the idea is that the kitchen is here, and then when you need something like tomatoes, you're just, bam, out into the greenhouse. Grabbing tomatoes for the salad, and then you're right back into the kitchen. The idea is easy flow. The closer your greenhouse is to your kitchen, the more you're going to use it and pay attention to it. And that's one of the design features of the Vesta Kit house. So now we're looking west in the main portion of the house. So this is 2 stories because this is a Vesta Plus. And you can see we have a living room scene going on somewhat. These columns are halfway. This is a 24-foot span, so this is 12 feet. The loft overhangs the center line by 2 feet, so it's actually a 14-foot loft, which means this is a 10-foot opening to the second story. And I think you can just see some of the framing exposed where the drywall work has stopped. So you can get a feel for what it looks like with drywall. These windows are vented open right now. And I'm actually going to combine the camera, pan up, so you can see what the Vesta portion of the house looks like before drywall as well. All right, we're upstairs now, and it's just a different perspective of the house. It's nice to see the loft and the space below. It's quite nice. I've got views of outside from the upper windows, and I've got views of the greenhouse from the lower windows. There's motors on all the upper awning windows. They are controlled by the sunsense. You can't reach those windows, obviously. So to open and close the upper awning, you can just use the sunsense controller. So that could be iPad or phone. The other idea there is in the summer, if it does warm in the house and you have cool nights like we do here in Colorado, you can actually vent at night, let the heat out, let the cool air in, close the house, hold that cool air during the day. The other thing I wanted to show you is just the framing. So again, this is the Vesta kit, heavy gauge steel, the roof purlins, and then how the electrical goes in, which is pretty standard. And then once you drywall it, you can kind of see the change from drywall to steel, and how nicely that covers it. Now this roof is a 6-inch roof. It's an R49. It's basically an R50. And so you don't need to add more insulation into the bays, but there is room for it. So if you wanted a R100, you can get there, but it's not really necessary in most places. All of the insulated metal panels, which is the insulation and the finished roof, live on the outside of the frame, as we've discussed in other videos. So there's no thermal breaking. These rafters don't let heat in or out. So it's a really tight envelope on this house. And this kind of can show you the technical aspects, the insulated metal panels, as well as the finish aspects, the drywall, so you can get a feel of what the Vesta kit house can become.